Legend of Princess Peralta.
In time before recorded history, there reigned in the city of Colimbriga, near the present-day town of Condeixa, a king called Aruns. Aruns had a beautiful daughter called Peralta. Many knights in the household of Aruns were interested in the princess, but she looked out from the towers of the castle into the vast distance towards the beautiful horizon, and dreamed. The servants endeavoured to find out the dreams of the royal mistress, but they found out nothing, since the princess kept her secret well hidden. It was a secret that only she knew, since it had been born in the wonderful imagination. She saw time after time the slender figure of a tall knight, broad-chested, athletic, bright-eyed, and open-faced, with manly features and a deep and tender voice. But one time when the princess was in a sweet ravine in the castle tower, she saw unexpectedly an army approaching. The young girl stayed motionless. The soldiers approached rapidly. The alarm was sounded by the sentinels. The uproar grew loud. They rushed around from one side to the other, giving orders in a loud voice. The attack began. They found the princess. She sat still, looking at the enemy commander, who stood at the front of his troops. He was a young knight, handsome, strong, and bold. The king cried out to her,
"My daughter, the enemy has come from many ships anchored in the port and advanced here, and we are surrounded."
The princess said with a sad expression and a sorrowful voice,
"I have never hated war as much as I do now."
The king retorted,
"Have courage. They have started to attack, and we already have dead and wounded."
She responded only with a sigh. The king grew angry.
"We have little possibility of defending ourselves. We are going to find a way out of here if it is possible. Come down, my daughter. I understand that this shock has hit you hard."
The cries grew closer. The cries of war, destruction, and death. Someone came to announce to the king,
"Sire, we have already suffered many deaths and injuries, and we have had men taken prisoner. They are about to enter the castle. What should we do?"
The king bit his lip, then declared in a hushed voice,
"We are unable to resist. We must try to make our way out."
"Impossible, sire."
The princess spoke.
"If it is our destiny to die at the hands of our enemy, then we must."
The king became more angry.
"How calm you are, my daughter. I want to believe that you are not thinking straight. You are suffering from an illness that makes you distracted, a sickness such as your servants speak of, and that even the court is starting to whisper about. This moment is grave. I am the king and your father. You have to listen to me. The castle that I have built in the forest that you dislike so much will now save us."
Ever serene, the young girl replied,
"We will be buried alive. That castle, built far away in the hills, is like an island."
"But difficult to find and much more difficult still to conquer."
"Do you think we will be able to leave here?"
"We will try. Prepare your most valuable and necessary things. As soon as night comes, we will leave by a secret gate. Your white horse will be waiting for you in the north courtyard."
The fight continued to be fierce and destructive, nor did the night bring any respite, as the enemy continued to kill and advance by the light of their torches. In her chambers, surrounded by the maids of honor, the princess waited for the order to leave. She spoke in low, measured tones, without fear.
"Soon we will leave the castle where desolation and death will prevail, all so soon. Evil hands are at work in these doings that are in no way for my liking."
At this very moment a strange man burst through the door of the room. As one the maids gave a cry of horror. It was a young knight, handsome, strong, and bold, the same man she had seen at the front of the soldiers, who advanced towards the princess.
"Tell the maids who surround you and who are so frightened that I come as a liberator and not as an enemy."
"So you say, but I saw you at the front of the army that invades our territories."
I came thus far in command of a division of this army. I also spied you in one of the windows of the tower. It is curious that seeing you so close brought me to this folly. My life at this moment is in danger.
How did you come to this corner of the castle?
By killing or removing many from the fight, I found my way.
You know that I'm waiting for the king, my father. He could come in at any moment. If you stay, one of you must die, and I don't want it to be him.
I swear to you that nothing will happen to your father if it is up to me.
So what do you want?
I must warn you that before the sun comes up, the castle will be ours.
Do you think this would happen soon?
Within half an hour, we will make the final advance, and this rising sun will greet another of our victories, so you must try to get away.
The princess tried to smile.
You reckon, knight, that we will try to escape, and you are right. Do you want, perchance, to stop our flight, masquerading as our protector?
Sword, I swear to you that I want to save you.
Why, knight?
Inquiring.
Mistress, do you ask why the rose has a perfume? When you are safe, if it is your will, perhaps then I will tell you why I put my life at risk to save you.
Then firmly.
Come, mistress. You cannot wait until my men have completely encircled the castle. Come with your maids.
Where to?
You can still choose.
Oh, I understand. You want to know where we intend to hide.
I swear to you that I will pay with my life if I break my silence. Leave me here to be killed by your father or his men. Thus I will atone for fault that I have committed with my soldiers.
The princess looked at him, perplexed.
Your attitude is so strange. What's your name?
Loris.
The princess looked at him long and declared,
Laris, I will not forget you. I trust you. I can even say that I will wait a long time for you, for we must part.
and turning to one of the servants,
Lina, go and find my father and tell him that the hour of departure is at hand.
When King Arunce arrived at the side of Princess Peralta and saw her in the presence of an unknown person wrapped in a cloak, he was dumbfounded. The young girl explained the situation to him. The king drew himself up tall and spoke with the energy of a conqueror rather than the conquered.
Begone. Your presence is not welcome. We know where we are.
If I had not warned you, in a few moments you would have found that your flight would have been impossible.
The king shouted angrily.
Begone now, or I will take you here like the enemy you are.
Laura shook his head in a denial.
You are losing precious time, sire. I am telling you that it is my intention to protect you as far as the place where you wish to stay.
Almost purple with rage, the king shouted.
For the last time, begone, or my sword will be crossed with yours.
Without stopping to think, the princess stepped between them.
Father, stop fighting. We must leave, as I can already hear voices close by.
Loris explained.
The order has been given to attack. My men will not wait. Go. I will hold them back.
But King Arunce, unconvinced, instructed four of his guards.
Do not trust the enemy. Take hold of this man when we have gone.
Ashamed at his attitude, the princess scolded.
Father, we owe our lives to him. I know he is not lying.
But the king seized one of his hands, ordering.
We must go. The time is up.
The sun had started to overtake the darkness, when the little group consisting of King Arunce and his retinue at the little castle hidden in the hills, at the sight of the fortress secret and far from the enemy that had attacked them. King Arunce smiled. The princess, however, returned to her customary distraction. A little stream followed close by. Their lives were secure at at least for the coming days. So the king declared.
In this hidden castle we will find safe shelter. This stream shall bear my name. The land around the castle will bear the name of my daughter, Peralta.
The princess appeared to come out of the stupor into which she had fallen. She looked at her father and asked,
Did you tell the guards to come here and find us?
I did.
They are late.
They would only leave when no one was following and they could make their escape.
The princess sighed. Not one word of happiness had come. With the same calmness as ever, she walked into the castle. Little more than a day had passed when one of the servants announced to the princess,
The royal guard has arrived. Alone? Yes, mistress. Are they wounded? Only one, just little.
Worried, Arunts demanded,
Daughter, why are you so distraught? We hardly knew him.
In a voice broken with tears, the princess whispered.
My knight has died.
The servant and the two guards looked at each other in disbelief at what they had heard. The enemy leader was the princess's knight. Dismayed, King Arunts left his daughter to cry. Then, as she got up to go, he asked gently,
Tell me, why do you cry for a stranger?
The princess fixed her father with a gaze shining with tears.
Do you think a stranger would be so capable of saving our lives?
King Arunts within his eyes. Amazement showed on his face.
So, this was not a stranger. So who was he? Where was he from? How did you know him?
The princess looked towards the castle window. She stared into the distance and murmured,
Since I became a woman, I have seen, hour after hour, walking towards me, one such as him. I swear, so handsome, so brave. He gave his life for us, and I will give my life for him. But we never exchanged a single word of love. Never. He appeared in my daydreams and vanished like smoke. I understand now the significance. I will never have him beside me, only coming to me.
The king interrupted the girl.
Daughter, you are delirious.
The young girl smiled with sadness.
You think so? Why can't you understand me? Laurus was for you the enemy. For me, he will always be my knight, my only love.
Still more distressed, the king tried to bring her back to reality.
Daughter, look at your father who loves you. You are unwell, for sure. How can you speak of love for an enemy that you only just met for the first time?
So, if it was a matter of chance that he gave his life for us, it is a simple thing. You wish to give the stream the name of Arunts in honor of the king who inhabits the castle. And I ask, sire, that you give the land not my name, but that of he who made possible our escape to this place. I beg you, sire, I want this land to be the land of Laurus.
She was so resolute in her wish, so strong in the conviction that the king had to concede.
So it will be the land of Laurus.
The princess smiled at this honor paid to her knight. Then she left silently, sadly, without hurry, as if life no longer held anything for her.